Now I want to introduce Denise Harle, who is going to talk about how to win the post-Roe legal battle. Thank you.
For years, one powerful Christian legal organization has been meticulously planning a strategy to overturn Roe v. Wade.
With God's help, we don't just stand, we win.
Alliance Defending Freedom, or ADF, has been involved in 67 Supreme Court victories and single-handedly won more than a dozen, mostly related to religious freedom, like fighting for prayer in public schools and to make it legal for businesses to discriminate against same-sex couples. In cases like Dobbs, which the Supreme Court just ruled on, this is how ADF works. First, they identify like-minded legislators, attorneys general, and governors. Then, they write bills for those lawmakers to tweak and introduce. They offer free legal advice. If the law is challenged, ADF helps defend it in court. If they lose, they appeal. And eventually, they petition the Supreme Court. This is exactly what they did with the state of Mississippi in Dobbs v. Jackson Women's Health Organization. In short, their plan worked.
So thank you to Vice News for what was supposed to be a hit piece that has turned into one of my favorite advertisements for ADF's Center for Life, which I am honored to lead. Well, I am so excited to be talking with you all about winning the post-Roe legal battle because, and we cannot say this enough, we are living in a post-Roe America. I want to thank each one of you for being part of that win. You've marched, you've prayed, you've advocated for life, and together we worked to make a post-Roe America possible. My talk is about winning the post-Roe legal battle because that's exactly what we intend to do. We are coming off a monumental win in overturning Roe. And one reason it's such a huge victory is because what the Supreme Court's decision in Dobbs actually says. It says our laws across the nation can protect life at every stage of development. The Dobbs decision actually serves as a blueprint for us to continue finding more pro-life wins in the post-Roe legal battle throughout the nation. The majority decision in Dobbs doesn't just say Roe was wrongly decided. It walks through in painstaking detail in dozens and dozens of pages exactly why. First, the decision explains that nothing in the Constitution's text says anything about a so-called right to abortion. It was never in there. That's one reason why the justices in the majority of Roe, those 7 men, were never able to identify any particular words that supposedly supported a right to abortion. And it's one of the reasons why the abortion advocates' arguments over time have changed from privacy to liberty to bodily autonomy. There was never any textual or legal basis whatsoever, and their lie has been obliterated. Second, the Dobbs decision explains that there are so many reasons why states can protect life. We have a compelling interest as the people of the United States to protect life from the moment of conception. Some of the important interests that the Supreme Court have recognized are eliminating procedures that cause unnecessary pain, preventing lethal discrimination in the womb based on sex or race or genetic condition, and ensuring that the medical profession isn't engaging in barbaric procedures, and protecting the health and safety of our women and girls. The states were ready for this. The people of America have been ready for this moment. Do you know how many pro-life laws were struck down under Roe and Casey? I don't actually know the number, but I know it's in the hundreds and hundreds of laws that were wrongly blocked by those egregiously wrong legal decisions. But now almost all of those pro-life laws are back on the table, back in conversation. It's happening. As we sit here today, 22 states have heartbeat or better laws on their books. Yes, that is worth applause. Several of those are in ongoing litigation because the abortion industry is relentless in trying to expand abortion as much as possible and profit off of death and off of harming women as much as they possibly can. But a majority of these pro-life laws are in effect, strong pro-life laws that were unimaginable under Roe. I'm just going to give a shout out to some of the states. This is just a handful of the ones that have really great pro-life laws right now. Alabama, Arkansas, Georgia, Idaho, Kentucky, Texas, Wisconsin, and West Virginia. And there are several more that all have these great laws in effect, saving many, many lives right now. We've also seen a few wins where Planned Parenthood has recently dropped lawsuits. So Planned Parenthood dismissed its lawsuit against Florida's 24-hour informed consent period and did the same in Iowa. Planned Parenthood also, just last month, dropped a case where they were suing the state of North Carolina over 5 health and safety laws. We are very hopeful to see more lawsuits dismissed like this as the abortion industry recognizes their arguments are going nowhere. We're looking forward to legal wins against the Biden administration as well. Unfortunately, since Roe was overturned, we've seen that the federal government is openly committed to expanding abortion as far as possible, primarily through the executive branch. Just 2 weeks after the Dobbs decision, the Biden administration's HHS, Department of Health and Human Services, issued a regulation reinterpreting federal guidelines to require emergency room physicians to essentially perform elective abortions as a condition of receiving Medicaid funds. We sued alongside the great state of Texas, and thankfully, a federal judge has blocked that horrible policy for now. Other executive overreach has been happening through the Food and Drug Administration, which is grossly endangering the health and safety of women and girls through its unlawful approval of chemical abortion drugs and its repeated loosening of the safeguards through those dangerous drugs. We at Alliance Defending Freedom have sued on behalf of several medical professional organizations and pro-life physicians. We've explained to the court that the FDA never did the required safety testing or went through the required protocols to put those drugs on the market. Never studied the effects on young women and girls who are absolutely taking these drugs. They never study the safety under a telemedicine regime where women don't even receive ultrasounds to confirm how far along they are or whether they have a life-threatening ectopic pregnancy. The FDA also fast-tracked the approval through a process that's supposed to be reserved for life-saving drugs. So for all of these reasons and more, the FDA violated the law and its duty to keep Americans safe. And we're hopeful to see a big pro-life win in that lawsuit with the drugs actually being taken off the market if we prevail in court. But that is not all. Since Roe was overturned, we've seen legal victories for life happen in other contexts. Just a few months ago, we got a favorable settlement on behalf of pro-life sidewalk advocates with Love Life, who had been wrongfully arrested for peacefully prayer walking outside an abortion facility in Greensboro, North Carolina. Both the city and the county, who had been trying to use COVID as an excuse to silence pro-life speech, they dropped all charges, they expunged our clients' records, they settled the case, and they paid our clients money for their unconstitutional government action. So that is another court win showing that the government can't engage in viewpoint discrimination against pro-life individuals. Another recent win, just last month, we got a huge victory against the state of California, which for years had been trying to force churches to fund abortion through their health insurance plans. But the Ninth Circuit, which is not always a friend of ours, has ruled that forcing churches to pay for abortion through health insurance, contrary to their religious beliefs, violates free exercise. That's a very important federal appellate court decision confirming that pro-abortion state government officials cannot force pro-life individuals or organizations to participate in abortion in any way whatsoever. And as pro-abortion government officials and the abortion lobby continue to push an extremist abortion regime on pro-life states and pro-life individuals, we're going to continue to hold the legal line. My colleagues and I at Alliance Defending Freedom will continue to defend the conscience rights of medical professionals who object to abortion. We are currently suing CVS on behalf of a nurse practitioner who was wrongly fired. That's right. For refusing to dispense abortifacient drugs. That's not America, and that's not what we're going to allow. We're going to hold the line, and we will go after them until the conscience rights of everyone is protected. We will continue to defend the free speech and religious exercise rights of pro-life pregnancy centers, pro-life student groups, and pro-life churches. We're going to remind the abortion industry that this is a post-Roe America. And the legal wins in court are going to keep making sure that our laws reflect what the Dobbs decision says so clearly, that many Americans believe fervently that a human person comes into being at conception and that abortion ends an innocent human life. We all believe it, and we will keep working until all of our laws protect all innocent human life. Thanks so much.